I used to joke that I fell in love above my pay grade. You're dating a CO, my friend Maya once laughed. Blink twice if you need help. I laughed too, but inside I felt small. Claire Bennett was brilliant, confident, untouchable. When she walked into a room, people straightened their backs. When she held my hand, I forgot how to breathe. Why me? I asked her once, half joking, half terrified. She smiled and said, because you see me, Ethan. Not the title. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. At dinners with her colleagues, I became quieter. So, what do you do again? Someone asked, eyes sliding past me. I answered politely. Claire squeezed my knee under the table but said nothing. I told myself it was fine. I told myself love didn't need defending. You don't have to impress them, Claire whispered once in the car. I know, I said. I'm not trying to. That was a lie. I was always trying. Lucas Reed was always there. Ethan, he said one night, smiling like a blade, must be nice having a private audience with the boss. People laughed. I forced a smile. Claire said, Lucas, stop. Her voice was light, almost playful. He didn't stop. Later, I asked her, does he bother you? She sighed. He's just competitive. Don't read into it. I nodded. I always nodded. At home, I cooked while she worked. You don't have to do everything, she said, still typing. I want to, I replied. Let me take care of you. Sometimes, late at night, I watched her sleep and thought I could lose her any day. The fear sat in my chest like a stone. Are you scared? She asked once, eyes half closed. Of what? Of us. I hesitated. No. The whispers got louder. She could do better, someone said at a party. I pretended not to hear. Claire pretended not to hear either. One evening at the office, I waited for her in the lobby. Lucas walked out with her, talking fast. The board wants stability, he said. Image matters. Claire nodded. I know. Lucas glanced at me. Oh, I didn't see you there. We're just talking business. I said, everything okay? Claire paused. Just for a second. Yes. We'll talk later. Lucas added, some things don't need discussion at home. He met my eyes. Something cold slid down my spine. I waited for her to say something. She didn't. She checked her phone. As we walked to the car, I asked, did I do something wrong? She said, Ethan, not now. On the drive home, silence filled the car. I broke it. You've been distant. She tightened her grip on the wheel. I'm under pressure. I know, I said. I just want to know where I stand. She laughed softly. You're overthinking again. Am I? I asked. Because sometimes it feels like I'm behind glass. She didn't answer. You knew who I was when we met. I knew your job, I said. I didn't know it would cost my voice. At home, she checked emails while I stood nearby. Stay, I said. I can't, she answered. Tomorrow's meeting is critical. I nodded. My phone buzzed. Maya texted, you okay? I typed back, I'm fine. Claire kissed my cheek. You're good, right? Always, I said. She smiled and went back to work. I sat alone on the couch, listening to her laptop hum. I told myself love meant patience. I told myself this was temporary. Still, Lucas's words echoed. Image matters. I stared at my reflection in the dark window and whispered, don't lose her. I didn't realize I was already losing myself. Before bed, she asked, you're quiet tonight. I'm thinking, I said. About work. About us. She lay still. We're fine, Ethan. I wanted to ask if fine was enough. I wanted to ask if love should feel like shrinking. Instead, I said, I trust you. She whispered, good. I closed my eyes, holding on to that word. Trust. It felt fragile. It felt borrowed. And somewhere deep inside me, a warning voice asked how long I could keep paying for love by staying silent. I ignored it. I wasn't supposed to hear it. I only went back to Claire's office because she forgot her charger. The hallway was quiet, lights dim, her door half closed, voices sharp inside. Image matters, Lucas said. You know that. Claire replied, I know, but Ethan? He's a risk, Lucas cut in. The board sees weakness. Investors notice everything. I froze. My hand hovered near the door. My stomach dropped. He loves you, Claire said. That's the problem, Lucas replied. Love doesn't look stable. I wanted to step in. My legs wouldn't move. Ending things now would be cleaner, Claire said quietly. Lucas answered, exactly. Before people talk. Ending things. Clean. Like I was a stain. Does he know? Lucas asked. No, she said. Not yet. Good, he replied. Delay only makes it messy. My chest burned. I pressed my hand to the wall. He supported me before all this, Claire said. And now he's excess, Lucas replied. Be practical. Something inside me cracked. I stepped back as they stopped talking. I waited until Lucas walked past me without looking. Then I pushed the door open. Claire looked up. Ethan? How long? I asked. She blinked. How long what? How long have you been planning to leave me? She stood slowly. You heard that? Enough, I said. Am I a liability now? She rubbed her forehead. You're misunderstanding. Then explain it, I said. Explain ending things. I'm under pressure, she said. You don't understand my world. So I'm the sacrifice, I said. That's not what I meant, she replied. This isn't about feelings. It sounded exactly like that, I said. You let him talk about me like I don't matter. I didn't agree, she said. You didn't stop him, I said. Silence filled the room. Say it, I said. Say you don't want me. She whispered, I don't know what I want. That hurt more than a yes. So what happens now? I asked. We take space, she said. Until things calm down. Until I disappear, I said. That's dramatic, she replied. Is it? I asked. Because I feel replaceable. She looked away. You knew who I was. I didn't know I was temporary, I said. She stepped closer. Ethan, please don't do this. Do what? I asked. Expect honesty? Her voice shook. I can't lose everything I've built. And I can lose you, I said. That's acceptable. She didn't answer. I nodded. That tells me enough. I walked out before she could touch me. The elevator ride felt endless. My phone vibrated. Maya's name flashed. I ignored it. Outside the night felt louder. I laughed once, bitter. I loved her. And apparently love wasn't enough. I walked until my legs hurt. My thoughts ran wild. Was I blind? Was I naive? Every smile replayed in my head now tainted. My phone buzzed again. Maya, did something happen? I typed. I heard the truth. She called immediately. Where are you? Walking, I said. Don't be alone, she said. Come to me. I don't know who I am right now, I said. You're someone who deserved better, she replied. I stopped. Her words hit hard. I thought she loved me, I said. She did, Maya said. She just loved power more. I swallowed. He called me excess. Maya swore. He's trash. She didn't argue, I said. That's the part that matters, she replied. I stared at the street. What do I do? You survive tonight, she said. Tomorrow you decide. I hung up. I sat on a bench, hands shaking. My reflection stared back from a dark window. I looked smaller. I thought of every time I stayed quiet. Every time I swallowed hurt. I thought love meant patience. Maybe it meant self-respect. I stood up. I didn't know where I was going. I only knew I couldn't go back. Not tonight. Not ever again. For the first time, I wondered if losing her meant finding myself. I packed my things before sunrise. One bag. Clothes, my laptop, nothing else. Claire watched from the doorway. You don't have to leave like this, she said. I do, I replied. If I stay, I'll keep lying to myself. She crossed her arms. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I learned from you, I said. She flinched. Ethan, come back tonight. We'll talk. I've listened enough, I said. Now I need to hear myself. She didn't stop me. Maya opened the door in pajamas. You look terrible. Thanks, I said. She pulled me inside. Sit. I dropped my bag. I left. Good, she said. Finally. That hurt. You're not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to tell the truth, she replied. You were drowning. I loved her, I said. You erased yourself, she said. I snapped. You don't get it. She snapped back. I get it perfectly. You begged for scraps. I stood up. That's unfair. No, she said. It's accurate. I sat again. My chest burned. She chose image over you, Maya continued. And you kept choosing silence. I whispered, I thought patience meant love. My phone rang. Mom. I hesitated, then answered. Hi. Her voice was soft. You sound tired. I am, I said. Where are you? She asked. Safe, I said. She paused. You remember what I told you when you left home? I closed my eyes. Don't make yourself small for anyone. Exactly, she said. Are you small right now? Tears came fast. Yes. Then stand up, she said. Even if your legs shake. After the call, Maya said quietly, she's right. I know, I said. I just don't know who I am without her. You'll figure it out, she said. Or you'll keep bleeding. Days passed. I slept on her couch. I applied for jobs. Silence filled my phone. Claire didn't call. One afternoon, Maya said, you have a visitor. A man in a gray coat stood awkwardly. Ethan Walker? Yes, I said. I'm Daniel Harper, he said. We met once at Claire's fundraiser. I frowned. I remember. I've been watching you, he said. Not like that, he added quickly. Your ideas. Your restraint. Maya raised an eyebrow. I heard you're available, Daniel continued. I'm starting something new. I laughed bitterly. You have the wrong guy. No, he said. You doubt yourself. That's fixable. I asked, why me? He said, because you listen. Because you didn't speak over people. Because you didn't chase credit. I hesitated. I have nothing. He smiled. Perfect place to start. After he left, Maya stared at me. Say yes. I'm scared, I said. Good, she replied. That means it matters. That night I lay awake. Claire's face haunted me. Her silence echoed louder than words. My phone buzzed. A message from her. We should talk. I typed back, I'm busy. The word felt powerful. The next morning I met Daniel. He said, this won't be easy. I don't want easy, I said. You'll start from scratch, he warned. I already did, I replied. He extended his hand. I shook it. Walking out, I felt lighter. Still broken but standing. I called Maya. I said yes. She laughed. Proud of you. I looked at the street ahead. I didn't know where it led. For the first time, that didn't scare me. I had lost comfort. I had lost love. But I hadn't lost myself. Not anymore. I didn't announce my comeback. I just worked. Daniel said, show up early. I did. He said, listen more than you speak. I listened. When I failed, he said, good. When I hesitated, he asked, why? I'm used to being second, I admitted. He replied, then get used to being uncomfortable. Weeks passed. Long days. Late nights. I learned fast. I stopped apologizing before speaking. People started listening. One evening, Daniel said, your numbers are solid. I shrugged. They're just numbers. They're proof, he said. Stop minimizing. I smiled, small but real. Maya noticed first. You walk differently, she said. How? I asked. Like you belong somewhere, she replied. I didn't answer, but I felt it. Then I ran into Claire. She was standing outside a cafe, phone pressed to her ear. She saw me and froze. Ethan? Claire? I said. She ended the call. You look good. Busy? I said. She laughed nervously. I heard you're working with Daniel Harper. Rumors travel fast, I said. She studied my face. You didn't tell me. You didn't ask, I replied. Silence stretched. I didn't expect this, she said. I know, I replied. She said softly, I thought you'd be angry. I said. Now I'm focused. Her eyes searched mine. Do you hate me? I paused. No. I just don't need answers anymore. That seemed to hurt her more. She said, Lucas is under pressure. I've heard, I said. People are questioning him, she continued. Decisions he made. I nodded. That happens. She frowned. You're calm. I worked on that, I said. She lowered her voice. Do you think he deserves it? I shrugged. I don't think about him. That was a lie, but it felt powerful. She stepped closer. We should talk sometime. I shook my head. Not yet. Why? She asked. Because I'm still becoming someone, I said. And I don't want old versions pulling me back. She whispered, I miss you. I replied, I miss who I was before I shrank. Her shoulders dropped. Later that week, Maya said, Did you see the news? I said, Which part? Lucas's division missed targets, she said. Again. I nodded. Pressure's loud. You enjoying this? She asked. No, I said. I'm learning. Daniel called me into his office. I want you leading the next pitch. I blinked. Me? Yes, he said. You earned it. What if I mess up? I asked. He smiled. Then you fix it. The pitch went well. Not perfect but strong. When it ended, someone said, "Good call." I believed them. That night my phone buzzed. Claire again. "Claire, can we talk?" I typed, "I'm working." She replied, "It's important." I stared at the screen, then typed, "So am I." I put the phone down. Rumors spread. Investigation started. Lucas stopped smiling in photos. I watched quietly. I didn't interfere. I didn't celebrate. Daniel said, "Power doesn't need noise." I understood that now. One afternoon, Claire showed up at the office. 5 minutes, she said. I checked my watch. 2. She exhaled. "You're different." "I had to be," I said. She said, "I made a mistake." "I know," I replied. "Can we start over?" she asked. I met her eyes. "I don't start over. I move forward." She nodded slowly. "I see." When she left, my hands shook. Not from fear. From relief. Maya texted, "Proud of you." I smiled. That night, I stood by the window, city lights blinking. I thought about silence. How it used to mean weakness. Now it felt like control. I didn't chase revenge. I didn't beg for closure. I let success speak. And for the first time, the echo belonged to me. I heard the news from Maya while I was making coffee. She didn't say hello. She said, "Turn on the screen. Right now." "What happened?" I asked. "Just do it," she replied. The headline filled the screen. Lucas Reed. Investigation. Fraud. Manipulation. I felt my stomach drop, but my hands stayed steady. Maya said, "Sophia Grant published everything." I swallowed. "So it's real." "It's worse than rumors," she said. "Claire's company is in free fall." I leaned against the counter. "I didn't want it like this." Maya said, "You didn't want it at all." "I still feel responsible," I said. "You're not," she replied. "You walked away." At work, people watched me carefully. Daniel closed his office door and said, "You holding up?" "I think so," I answered. He studied my face. "You look calm." "I don't know how else to feel," I said. "That's not numbness," he said. "That's acceptance." My phone buzzed. Claire's name lit the screen. "Claire, please answer me." My chest tightened. Daniel noticed. "You don't owe her anything." "I know," I said. "But I owe myself clarity." I stepped outside and called her. She answered instantly. "Ethan, thank God." "Claire," I said. "What's going on?" Her voice cracked. "Everything is collapsing." "I saw the news," I said. "Lucas lied," she cried. "To me. To everyone." "You stood by him," I said. "I was wrong," she said. "I trusted him." "You didn't trust me," I replied. Silence followed. "I need you," she whispered. Those words used to control me. "I can't be that person anymore," I said. "Please," she begged. "I don't know who to turn to." I laughed softly. "That used to be me." "I'm scared," she said. "So was I," I replied. "You told me to wait while you decided my worth." She sobbed. "I never meant to hurt you." "I believe you," I said. "Intent doesn't erase damage." She asked, "Do you hate me?" "No," I said. "I hate how small I became." "I'll fix this," she said. "I'll fight." "You should," I replied. "Just not with me." She gasped. "You're leaving me like this?" "I left months ago," I said. "I'm just not coming back." She whispered, "I thought you'd save me." I said, "I finally learned I don't exist to save you." I ended the call. My hands shook, not from anger but from release. Maya texted, "You okay?" I replied, "I am." That evening, alerts kept flooding my phone. Resignations. Statements filled with regret. I watched without smiling. Daniel said, "This is karma." "It doesn't feel clean," I said. "It never is," he replied. Later, alone, I thought about revenge. How loud it could have been. How empty it would feel after. I remembered my mother's voice telling me to stand up, even when my legs shook. Claire texted again. I didn't read it. I chose distance. I chose peace. For the first time, I didn't run toward the fire. I walked away while it burned, knowing I didn't need to watch everything fall to finally feel whole. I met Claire at the quiet cafe near the river. She stood when I walked in and said, "Thank you for coming." I replied, "I'm here to listen, not to argue." She sat slowly and whispered, "I'm sorry." I nodded and waited. She said, "I'm sorry for choosing fear over you, for choosing safety over love, and for letting him poison my judgment." I listened without interrupting, surprised by my own calm. I said, "I accept your apology." Her eyes widened. "That's it." I answered, yes. I don't need more. She leaned forward. I ruined everything. I said, you ruined us but you didn't ruin me. She flinched. Lucas is going to prison. I replied, I heard. She searched my face. Don't you feel anything? I took a breath. I feel free. She pressed her hands together. I thought justice would bring you back. I shook my head. Justice isn't reunion. She asked, do you forgive me? I answered, yes, but not so we can start again. Her voice cracked. Then why forgive me at all? I said, because carrying anger kept me tied to you. She looked down. I was afraid. I replied, so was I, but I stayed. Silence stretched between us. She said, if I could go back. I interrupted, don't. I added, the past doesn't need rewriting. She swallowed hard. You're stronger than I expected. I smiled. So am I. My phone buzzed with a news alert about Lucas's sentencing. I silenced it without looking. She noticed and asked, aren't you curious? I said, I don't need to see his fall to feel whole. She nodded slowly. I understand now. I stood up. This is goodbye. She stood too. I wish you happiness. I replied, I'm building it. We walked outside together. She said, you won. I corrected her. I healed. I turned away without looking back. On the walk home, I thought about what winning used to mean to me. It meant proving worth, earning love, and staying silent. Now it meant choosing myself without burning anyone else. I called Maya. She answered, is it done? I said, yes. She asked, how do you feel? I replied, light. She laughed. That's growth. I agreed. It hurts less than holding on. I ended the call and kept walking. The city felt the same, but I didn't. I realized then that revenge was never my victory. My victory was leaving intact. I didn't need applause, apologies, or apologies repeated. I needed peace. As I crossed the street, I felt something settle inside me. It wasn't joy yet, but it was solid. I whispered, I'm enough. I kept walking toward a life that finally belonged to me. The case closed behind me without satisfaction or regret. I thought about how silence once trapped me. Now silence protected my future. I decided that night to stop measuring my value through someone else's fear. I would build slowly, honestly, and without hiding. I smiled to myself and kept moving. The past didn't follow. I was finally ahead of it. My steps felt steady even without answers. I knew healing wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet choices repeated every day. I chose not to look back again. The future waited without demands. I accepted it without fear. I breathed in and felt whole. The apology had come too late, but my life had arrived on time. I kept walking, carrying nothing that belonged to yesterday. I understood that forgiveness was my final act of strength. It closed a door without slamming it. I felt tired, but it was a good kind. I promised myself never to shrink again. I didn't need revenge to know I won. I needed honesty, distance, and courage. I had all three. The night air felt calm as I turned the corner. I smiled once more and didn't look back. I was done chasing closure. I already carried it. With every step, the past loosened its grip. I walked forward, steady and unafraid. This time I chose peace and peace chose me back. I disappeared into my future, finally whole, finally free. I never looked back again, ever. I woke up without panic for the first time in months. The silence didn't scare me. It felt earned. My mother called while I made breakfast. You sound lighter, she said. I am, I replied. She asked, did you finally forgive yourself? I smiled. I'm learning. She said, that's all anyone can do. Later I met Daniel for coffee. He said, you've changed. I stopped running, I said. He nodded. Success looks different on you. It's quieter, I replied. That's the best kind, he said. Maya joined us and said, look at you. Stable. I laughed. Don't ruin it. She said, I warned you about loving someone who made you small. I know, I said. I just needed to learn it myself. She asked, do you miss her? I answered honestly. Sometimes. But I don't miss who I was. That felt important. Work didn't feel like survival anymore. It felt like building. People listened when I spoke. I listened too. I didn't rush to prove anything. One afternoon Daniel said, you could lead this. I hesitated. I'm ready. He smiled. I know. That night I walked through the city alone. I remembered nights I begged for reassurance, nights I waited for texts that never came. I whispered, I don't live there anymore. My phone buzzed. Claire's name appeared, then disappeared. I didn't feel pulled. I thought about love. How I once believed it meant endurance. How I confused pain with loyalty. Now I knew better. At dinner with my mother, she said, "You carry yourself differently." I stopped apologizing for existing, I said. She reached across the table. "I'm proud of you." That mattered more than any title. Later, Maya texted, "You happy?" I typed, "I'm peaceful." She replied, "That's better." I sat by the window and thought about the man I almost became. Bitter, angry, small. I let the memory pass. Success didn't need witnesses anymore. It didn't need revenge. It didn't even need validation. It just needed honesty. I spoke out loud. I survived. No one answered. I didn't need them to. Losing Claire didn't break me. It forced me to face myself. It stripped away comfort and left truth. I finally saw my worth without reflection. The future felt open. Not perfect, just mine. I grabbed my jacket and stepped outside. The air felt clean. My steps felt steady. I wasn't chasing love anymore. I was choosing it carefully. As I walked forward, I understood something simple and strong. I almost missed this life. But I didn't. I showed up. I stayed. And this time I chose myself.